Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been 2 months. Yeah. Hi. Let's see. I'm just gonna get into it. We've got a weird set of clips here to start off, and I am running a full secondary spec IFAG Henry 4. So, yeah. I decided to say screw it. Let's do something completely stupid and see if it could work, and not necessarily work, but if we could have some fun with it. And we did, and some of the other guys in the in the team also enjoyed that as well. But as usual, when trying to do anything specific, you very rarely get that chance to make it happen, like secondary builds and stuff. What a pain in the ass sometimes to try to get within range, especially if you're lower tier, but missed out on a chance there. Looked like we were going to be able to get another close quarters expert when all we did was get a finishing blow with the secondaries against the Iowa before, so it's not like it's anything, but just getting the achievement in this ship is hilarious. And the secondaries reach out to 9 kilometers, I believe, when they're fully buffed, so it's a pretty considerable distance. But see that those shells right there? Oh yeah, we got another one. So it was just for shits and giggles. So yeah, I had some fun with that, but I don't think I've actually reset that captain, which is kind of weird. But I did pick up the Yu Yang. I have the Shimikaze as well. You'll see some of that here in a moment too. But Yu Yang is actually a pretty solid little ship. There's a lot of scenarios where it sucks to play, like when you're trying to push off another destroyer from a cap, because you just don't have the torpedo threat there, and they can definitely push against you. But given the right situations, and holy shit, I was not expecting to take that much damage. But honestly, I think that if that was AP, that would have killed me. So puts me in a decent position here to try to get something done. But I still got to deal with secondaries at this range, which means it's gonna hurt a lot. But at the very least, we're taking him out too. That took a while. I was so worried after the second set started hitting. I'm like, holy shit, we're not going to kill this guy. But we managed to do so. Messed around a little bit with the Shimikaze, with the 12, the 20s, and the 12s really weird, really work well for the ship. But the 8s are just ridiculous, man. These F3 torps at the speed at which they go and everything. I should have expected to run into a DD here. I just didn't think that it'd run into 2, but we get the fireworks, and I don't run Isoroku Yamamoto on this anymore, and I was really hoping to get a opening devastating double strike there against the Gearing 2, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Now, it looked like he turned back and everything, and I knew I was going to run into him at some point. I just was hoping that I would have been able to get closer to the North Carolina before this happened, and just wasn't quite ready for this, and managed to take one big ass torp there to the face, but we returned the favor. There we go. So, and really nothing else happened for me in this match, and still finished in second place. By a pretty considerable margin here. And I'm not entirely sure why ultimately I didn't throw the third set of torps down. I think I was hoping that he would miss. Yeah, it was because I was hoping that he would miss there, and I'd be able to get a better angle on that third set and try to take him out. That would have been fantastic, but yeah, luck of the draw. At least we got those two guys. But anyways, switching over to the Minotaur. And before I get too far into this match, which it's going to get crazy quickly, make sure to check the top comment. I'm going to pin information on the Hunt for the High Seas event. I'm going to be playing Wave 4 today, and I'm going to be playing Wave 7 and 8 on Sunday. So be sure to check that out, and back to the match. So things go from not really anything at all to batshit crazy in the blink of an eye with the Minotaur, and this is one of those situations. I didn't expect to have any of that actually work out. We've got some Citadels against the enemy Mogami, we've got an Otago over here, and I'm hydroed, and I didn't even realize that at the time. I was hoping like it was right there, because I was like, okay, well, I'm ship detected, so I can go ahead and smoke up, right? Nope. As the Mogami, or I'm sorry, the Republic and the Iowa come around, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm clearly screwed here. Hopefully I can, back up enough to throw some torps down on these guys, and I've got my heal coming up. Maybe I can last just long enough to get this done, unless I get killed outright, which how the hell I haven't been killed yet is beyond me. So the Atago rolls around, and I'm desperately trying to kill him because I just want to survive for a little bit longer. So these torps are spotted, of course, by his Hydro. So they're going to stay lit, and the Iowa can see him, the Republic can see him, whatever. Thankfully, he wasn't able to get his torps on a more forward angle there. Otherwise, maybe it would have been a little bit more risky, but I honestly shouldn't have survived the situation to begin with. The Republic throwing down a few salvos at me in that position, I'm shocked I didn't get killed. So the Iowa looks like he's going to be taking some torp damage here, and things have just kind of gone my way at this point until 2 torps that cause no flooding. Because why would they ever cause flooding when you need them to, right? Anyways, moving forward here a little bit. The Iowa is in just a bad situation. He's backing up. The Republic is also backing up, but he's going to start going forward here in a second. And I want, like, I know he's going to shoot over here. There we go. Awesome. So now I can kind of make my move here. And at first I wanted to kind of pull out a little bit to try to get torps over towards the Republic, but that's just not going to happen. So let's just go for it. Looks like the Iowa's not going to get his chance to shoot. Just up the torps as fast as we can, because the Republic's going to switch right over to us. Looks like his secondaries are focusing on the Massachusetts at the moment, and I'm just going bow forward because I'm not expecting to live, and I don't really have much health to heal there, but I think it's best to just have it active when I'm expecting to take damage. And here comes this salvo any second. There it is. And somehow, how does this shit happen? Like, I know on YouTube it makes it seem like this stuff happens all the time, and it doesn't. It just doesn't. This is such a small sampling of the games and the attempts to make something crazy happen. And this is a really good example of that, where I've been running the entire match. Like, I just landed the torp hit, and we're halfway through this match, and I've got 15,000 damage. I've been able to do nothing because I've been pushed out by a Des Moines and a Cleveland, and they've had backup and everything. I've had no choice but to continue to run, because if I smoke up, there's nobody to spot for me, and if I smoke up, these guys are going to go ahead and pop their radar and just blast me to shit. So the Cyclone comes around, I use that to my advantage. I keep dumping torps because they're chasing me, so I'm able to use that range, that they're like basically effectively increasing the range of my torps. So Cyclone's fully set, and now it's time to try to engage a Des Moines and a Cleveland by myself. So what I've mentioned before, and I'm taking some damage here, but I had to get those torps off just in the event that I wouldn't get the chance otherwise. And I really didn't know how they would move or anything, so whatever. Anyways, the point is, I'm in this situation. Time to try to make the best of it. So Des Moines is showing full broadside. I see this a lot because I think a lot of these guys get not cocky. They underestimate the ability of a Minotaur to Citadel them, and I wanted to keep my bow towards him, because so long as he's shooting AP, I'm gonna be okay, aside from him possibly shooting and knocking out my turrets. So that's the biggest risk that I'm running here. Now it's a bit more difficult against the Cleveland because of the fact that he has a much faster turret traverse, but we're just doing the Tokyo drift right by his ass and nailing a Citadel and getting some good shell pen damage. Booyah.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Yep, straight up fight. That felt great. So with the Thunder of Guns video that I posted, there were comments about, how the hell do these ships let you get this close, blah, blah, blah. It's because they can't do shit. against a bow forward Minotaur unless they're a Henry, as far as AP is concerned. The Moskva's 220mm caliber guns can only penetrate 15. They can only overmatch, sorry, 15 millimeters of armor. The bow on the Minotaur is 16 millimeters, so the Henry is the only one that can do it. And I really exposed myself too much here, and somehow I did not get punched. Holy shit, that's beyond me. So I was really expecting him to start pulling forward here to try to give himself some sort of chance here as far as maneuvering or cutting into my torp range. And to me this feels like he didn't unzoom and didn't really keep up with the ship, because the turret traverse, it's there, he had the opportunity, and I think he just kind of messed this up. But the Citadel start racking up, and booyah, just damn. Like I was hoping for something good. I just didn't expect it to be that good, so that was awesome. But yeah, moving over to the Monahan. This was gifted to me by Red J1, and much appreciated, because this is a ridiculously fun ship. There are two setups, the 9.2 and the 6.4 kilometer torp setup, and if you run the 9.2, then you only have 2 guns like here, otherwise you would have 4 guns. And with the basically the Farragut setup, and basically it is a Farragut, but with the 30-second torpedo reload booster, so which is pretty damn helpful. But starting to engage the enemy here, and just waiting to see what's gonna happen here. Looks like the Budyoni is going into that smoke as well, and amazingly enough, get the Fubuki and the Budyoni. So that's a hell of a start.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
The announcer said so too, so that works out, right? Well, decided to keep working this flank a bit, right? And it's going to be a while till we get our next torpedo reload booster, so I have to be really careful about how I use these torps. And obviously the big limitation with a ship like this with the 2 turret setup is you gotta pick your fights very carefully. And in this scenario, I think I picked it pretty damn well, so... I got the Normandy here. This is just plowing ahead, and the secondaries are obviously dangerous, but I thought I was going to miss here and not get him, but gotcha. So that's Dev Strike number 3. Gotta get the horn in there. Damn right, son. So, alright, well, I'm still working this flank here, and this Normandy, another one, doesn't seem to be paying attention too much, but we throw down our torps and then switch, use our TRB to, just in case, well, obviously we screwed this up, but it doesn't look like we're going to have a target for a while, so might as well get those torps ready and rolling. But calculated his turn, I think, pretty well there, and trying to throw some shells down, and boom. Dev Strike number 4. Praise the horn, man. Just damn. Now, I threw those torps down here against this New Mexico, and was trying to get in position with the second set from the TRB, and I thought that these weren't gonna hit, so I made no adjustment whatsoever. I really miscalculated that. Yeah, we managed to win though. That was a disaster. That would have been so fucking great though, to get 5 Dev Strikes for 5 kills. Oh man. But oh well. So moving on to another match with the Monahan, and Epicenter, it works out really well with this ship. Get this a lot. Like, Dev Strikes are a constant thing with this ship, and there's another ship too that there's Dev Strikes with, and I gotta record a bunch of footage with it. But the party boat, you're gonna see some footage with the party boat in the next few videos, well, probably in the next Ships and Giggles, but because frankly it's funny as shit. The thing is overpowered. If you have no idea what ship I'm talking about, if you haven't seen the stream over the last like week or two, it's the Okhotnik at tier 5. I love that horrible banana boat. It is awesome and has so much character. So I'm taking a shitload of damage here, but so is that guy. Another Dev Strike. This thing just feels like, with the TRB and these torps, this is ridiculous at tier 6, really. I want to say it's too strong, And then, nah, I don't. Destroyers need some love at this tier, and we managed to get 3 torps on the North Carolina. Just, wow. And I really think this whole standoff type of gameplay, wow, that was my elbow. This whole standoff type of gameplay really works well for this ship. I mean, if you can hit the flank of, you know, as bottom tier, it's really not a problem at all. I mean, you're going to wreak a shitload of havoc on enemy ships. And, you know, there's, especially with the torp reload booster having a 30-second gap there, you are so much more likely to hit a ship and cause flooding. And then if you hit them again, yeah, you know, they'll have their repair cooldown, repair on cooldown, so you're going to cause a shitload of damage. Case in point, all these guys are grouped up over here, right? And I've got a few torp hits and I've got some flooding, but take a look at the damage up in the top right. At least one ship definitely gave up some flooding damage, and I think I know which one it was, but we get a fire over here on the NC as he's pushing ahead, and I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I want to do at this point, because clearly the NC is dead, and then I gotta figure out you know, the next course of attack here and try to stay away from the enemy DD, because this thing really can't deal with enemy destroyers at all. Like, it's so good to have this ship with others, you know, pushing a flank or whatever, because its gun performance is going to be so mediocre with the 2 turret setup. But I think that's the easiest witherer I've ever had. There is no effort whatsoever. Just throw some torps and 1 fire, boom, I get a witherer. Okay, that's cool. So the other weird thing about these torps is how long it takes. It's not quite like the it's not as slow as the sea mines from the Sims at tier 7. I mean, those are what, like 49 knots or something? That's ridiculous. But these take a full 60 seconds to reach their max range at 9.2 kilometers. So you forget about them.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
I totally forgot that I launched those torps there. Like, it's weird, man. So this ship really is a terror at tier 6, and if they ever do ranked again at tier 6, like, you know, for real, like have a good portion of the season at tier 6, I'd be very interested to see how this ship does. So, I mean, of course, the lack of guns, if you're running a 9.2 kilometer setup, would be a significant liability when you absolutely have to kill, say, well, any target, but especially like an enemy destroyer, because, you know, the overall output is pretty damn minimal. But the torps, man, oh, the torp volume over the course of a match is just, there's so much potential there. So as we're getting towards the last bit of the video here, I wanted to just discuss the lack of work in progress footage that you're going to see on my channel. Part of that is because, of course, I'm very, very focused on, you know, further building the stream and everything, but I haven't forgot about you guys that are only here on YouTube. I love you guys, don't worry. But when it comes to gathering footage and throwing that up on YouTube, I don't really see the point of really putting too much work into a video that is going to be on the ship that is going to be changed. Like, what's the point? I mean, I'll open discussion in a general sense, and you know, when what you have to consider is when it comes to an entirely new line of ships, that's a ton of work, a ton of balancing that they're going to be doing, and a lot of things are very likely going to change. The first iteration of a ship is never going to be the right iteration of a ship. Every single ship goes through at least 2 versions, probably more than that, actually, if you consider internal testing and all this other stuff. So in that regard, until we see what they come around with for the second pass, or, you know, obviously the third pass, I figured that's going to be much, much closer to the final product than anything that's going to be in the first iteration. And to me, you know, just my rationale, I don't want to put all this work and effort into making a video for you guys, and then a week later it's completely obsolete. There's no point for that, in my opinion. So the Harugamo, the Kitakaze, daring the Prince Idol Friedrich, which, God, I would love to show you footage of that. You know, there's a lot to like with these various ships, but there's also a lot that is clearly in need of work, and why would I want to go in depth and spend, you know, 10-20 minutes of discussing this stuff with you guys, and then, oh yeah, no, none of that's relevant anymore. And also, for a 20-minute video, it's usually hours of work anyway. So but I did want to just show you the daring a little bit anyways, because it's a funky ass ship, and I know this is probably not going to be the version that we get to play with when it gets implemented into the game. We can talk a little bit more about that as we get closer to the you know, the actual release of the ship and everything. But this is a full gun build, and with Adrenaline Rush I've been all the way down to 1.5 seconds. There's a clip of it on Twitch somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find it and put it in the description, or actually in the top comment. I'll pin a comment with the other stuff that I mentioned earlier about the Hunt for the High Seas event. But look at this shit. Wow, that was fast. But yeah. Anyways, I got more footage coming up, and just bear with me. I'll get some more time to throw some new videos up. But thank you for watching today, guys, and I'll see you back here soon. Take care, everybody.